Hey everyone, here's another example of a quick and easy way to sketch a basic sine graph. Today we'll do y equals -2 sine of 1/4 x. All right, let's jump right in. In step 1, we start by finding the essentials. And you see a in our general form here is just the leading coefficient of sine. And so our a in our equation is -2. Remember, put a star anytime your a is negative. This helps you remember that in step 2, your pattern is going to be the reflected, vertically reflected, or over the x-axis sine pattern. Okay, so we'll come back to that. If you take the absolute value, so absolute value of -2 gives you 2. 2 units will be our amplitude or distance from the midline of our graph up to a max or down to a min. That'll help you set your y coordinates for your min and your max in step 2 as well. All right, on to b. It's just the coefficient in front of x, so that's right here. Okay, our coefficient of x is 1/4, and you can use this to find the period of the graph. That's the horizontal length of a cycle. So 2 pi divided by 1/4, dividing by a fraction, it's the same thing as multiplying by the reciprocal. If you want to think about it that way, it's just a little easier. The period of our graph will be 8 pi. Okay, so now whenever I find the period, I just divide it by 4. So 8 pi divided by 4 is 2 pi. And then that's what I use for my horizontal scale. I do that because there are 4 key points when we plot the pattern in the next step. And so each point will line up with a horizontal tick mark. So let's go ahead and count out 1, 2, 3, 4 horizontal tick marks. And we'll label them. This will get us one full cycle of our graph. Counting by 2 pi, so easy enough. 2 pi, 4 pi, 6 pi, 8 pi. That 4th tick mark to the right of the origin will always match your period when you set it up this way. And then for the vertical scale, look back to that value for a. That's usually a really good guide for your vertical axis. So let's count up by 2 and down by 2 to make sure we get our max and our min. All right. Now we're ready for step 2. We'll plot our key points. Remember, we're using the flipped sine pattern. So that starts at the origin with a 0, then goes to a minimum, 0, maximum. All right, plot your point on the origin. 2 pi will get you your minimum, and you get the y coordinate simply by using the value for a, so -2. All right, that's the minimum. 4 pi, we have a 0, and 6 pi gets our maximum. So to get that y coordinate, just take the opposite value of a. All right, so that's your amplitude at work. So from the midline, which is where your zeros are, vertically up to that maximum or down to the minimum, 2 units. All right, for either one. Now we're ready for step 3. Let's sketch in our sine curve. Easy enough. And then the pattern would just repeat in either direction, but we have one full cycle here. Our period is 8 pi. All right, so this was our quick sketch method in action. Hopefully you found it pretty easy. Practice a little bit and you'll be able to graph any basic sine graph with ease. Subscribe for more examples and other helpful tips. Thanks for watching.